Good afternoon, or good day, or good evening, or good morning to everybody out in the world right now. Welcome to Monza for the next round of the eFormula series here on ESBN. We are proud to bring this brand new league to you, here to your screens a bit earlier than what we normally bring our broadcasts to you, but wow, oh wow, we have got a big race for you here tonight with the Formula 3.5 cars here at the Temple of Speed. Frank, we are absolutely excited for this one here today.
Without a doubt. I know you've been waiting for a long time to bring an open wheel series on a regular basis here to ESBN. I love open wheel racing as well, so this is right here. This is about as good as it gets for the two of us.
Absolutely, and with that, we do have a couple of features for you here tonight, and we do have well, I don't have it up on my OBS right now, but I'm supposed to do an Indy 500 announcement, but I'll do that at the end if I can. But right now we do have a track guide for you, and we're going to take it over to Marcus Bruning for that track guide. So here we go. If you want to know how to get around Monza, this is the way to do it. We'll be back in just a second.
The Autodromo Nazionale di Monza is a historic racetrack near the city of Monza, north of Milan in Italy. Built in 1922, it is the world's third purpose-built motor racing circuit after those of Brooklands and Indianapolis. Its biggest event is the Formula One Italian Grand Prix. Drivers are on full throttle for most of the lap due to its long straights and fast corners, and the track is often called the Temple of Speed. Though generally flat, it has a gentle gradient from the second Lesmos to the Variante Ascari. The length of the track is 5.793 kilometers and it has 11 turns. Welcome to the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza.
It's now 46 Celsius.
Welcome to eFormula Series.
And we are back after that track guide by Mark Bruning, Marcellus Bruning, who you're going to see on the track there. Thanks to him for giving us the track guide for this race here tonight. We've got 65 minutes of pure racing action here for you right now. Let's go down to the track and see how the guys are faring right now, as things are really going to get a bit spicy out there at some point here tonight. So it'll let me. Let's go to one of the drivers out on track if it'll let me. Oh no, we're just taking over. We'll just change it over to qualifying. So,
yep,
maybe not.
We'll give it a minute.
Well, once
Ilbrink, first car on track.
as we're going to look for Paul Ilbrink, and I see him right there. So let's go straight on track and see how he fares as we. There we go. There is Paul Ilbrink in the number 16 car. Championship leader coming into tonight. We're supposed to have the championship standings up, but I've not figured out how to do that yet. So we'll get that figured out in time. We do have a decent deal with these guys, and we are going back and forth and helping each other with stuff like that. But we are looking at Paul Ilbrink, the current points leader, going through the second chicane there. Frank, what are these guys got to do to try and keep ahead of each other? Obviously, it's going to be a big drafting battle around here.
Yeah, if you watch the Formula One, the real-life Formula One qualifying which took place last week, you know that slipstreaming and drafting is king around here, especially if you want to set a good lap, which you would think is really counterintuitive with how much air you need on the front of these cars in order for the wings to work properly. But this place is all about speed, how quick you can get down into the next set of chicanes from that long straightaway. And that is really where you pick up your time around here. It's not necessarily the chicanes; it's your straight line speed.
Oh, someone just hit
I heard that.
Yeah, someone just hit the barrier really badly there. That's
20 of Felipe Pinheiro.
Yeah, Pinheiro not having a good start there. Let's go back and see what happened here. I'm still trying to figure out this.
And typically, now we use two different broadcasting formats. There's a program called ATVO and there's a program called SDK. This league has provided us with an SDK format to use, so it is a little bit different from your standard SDK, so we are still trying to get used to it.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm about as useful as a chocolate teapot, so... but we will get used to it, so carry on, Frank.
As I say, as we have lap times going.
No, we're back with Paul Ilbrink.
Okay, there we go. There's Ilbrink. Going through the second Lesmo onto the long back straightaway here. Slight little kink under the old oval circuit. Hard braking zone into the Variante Ascari. And another long straight.
Oh, he lost it. And that's going to cost him his time, especially after hitting that barrier there. That's going to really cost him. Let's go to the man that is going to be just as fast. We're going to go to Moritz right now. He was fastest in practice here as he comes into the Parabolica. Let's see what he can put down. He will be the first driver to put a time down here in the number 66. Let's see what he can do as he comes across the line. And he gets completely displaced by Manuel Domingo straight away. Or Manuel Domingo. Javier Alvarez going up to third. Danny Hoekstra going up to fourth. And Samuel Augsburger going up to P5. So those are your first 5 times in right now.
And that's the power of the slipstream here. Domingo was tucked right up under Moritz the entire run. And you see, they ran a very similar looking lap time, but Domingo 3/10 quicker just because of that slipstream power.
Manuel Domingo is the teammate of Paul Ilbrink, driving for Radicals here at Monza in this series. So no surprise he's got some pace up there. The times are coming in thick and fast. There's Cedric Bill going on to P3 with 136.077. Obviously, with these being slower cars than the Formula One cars, you're going to find that the lap times are a bit slower here, Frank. So they're like kind of like Formula 2 cars in a way.
Yeah, to a point. Now, a Formula One car, what were they running here last week? Like 118s?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we're about 20 seconds off of that, and a lot of that is straight line speed. These Formula Renault 3.5s do not have that horsepower, that oomph. They don't have DRS. They don't have the hybrid system. So there's a lot of things that they're missing from a Formula One car that's going to make them those 20 seconds slower.
Looking at Artish Debizing right now. He is out on track in the Frontline Racing team. Currently running the not set a time as yet. We're going to go to Paul Ilbrink. I believe he is back out on track again. Yes, he is in the Radicals number 16. Let's see if he can put a time down this time, Frank.
Yeah, hopefully. You just got the power down a little too much on that curbing at the exit of Ascari last time through, and we saw that happen a lot in practice. Guys slipping off of that outside curb at Ascari, so that's going to be a trouble point here tonight.
Yeah, we've got 11 times in so far. Mark Bruning currently at the back of those standings with about 1 second off the pace of the leader, so probably might need to have a better time this time around, but we're still focused on Paul Ilbrink, see what he can do. Manuel Domingo still holding on to the pole here. Cedric Bill up to third place now after popping in a 1:35.945. Good time for him in the number 5.
Yeah, and that one betters his last lap through, and I kind of halfway expected this to look like Formula One qualifying, where guys will set a lap early, come in, and then set one later. But no, Bill setting 2 times back-to-back, and the second one just slightly faster, about a 10th quicker than his first.
Domingo and Moritz are still out as well. They're just completing another lap here. Domingo has fallen off the back of Moritz there, not really in his draft anymore.
Ilbrink to the top.
Yeah, Ilbrink straight to the top there, as you see. Him just coming into the first chicane. The Variante Alto chicane? I don't know.
That's the Retafilo.
I will get these right eventually. Domingo up to second, still in second place. He's just a bit of time off his teammate there. So Radicals 1 and 2 locking out the front row so far here tonight. It's kind of like Mercedes at Mugello today.
I was just going to say at least a Ferrari look-alike is having some success here at Monza, because Lord knows the real ones, you know, let's... All right, before I get myself all annoyed, good time for Ilbrink and Domingo.
We're looking at Cedric Bill there as he comes down across the line. He's going to put in a 1:35.788. That's going to put him back up to P4. Good time for him. There's just ahead of Javier Alvarez now. Danny Hoekstra is in P6 now as he makes his way through the second Lesbos corner. And Danny Hoekstra, the league owner, bringing us on board for this series.
Yes, and we really do appreciate this. As I mentioned right at the top, Sam, you've been trying for upwards of 3 years to get an open wheel series onto this channel, and I've been pushing for it since I've gotten here about 3 months ago. So yeah, we are very, very grateful to Mr. Hoekstra to bring us to allow us on board here.
The Hoekstra backing off out of that lap there after being caught behind, I believe. That might have been...
It's the 7 of Javier Alvarez he just let by.
Yeah. Now Alvarez is going to get a tow from Hoekstra to start this new lap right now. Alvarez is was going to bring a pit side, but changed his mind.
And that's Felipe Pinheiro behind those two, and behind him is Samuel Augsburger. So a nice little line of tow coming here for these guys.
Yeah. Hoekstra running for Tulip Racing as we're just looking at Pinheiro there, just coming out of the first chicane. There's very good looking paint schemes out here, I will admit. I do have a keen eye for paint schemes, and some very nice ones out there right now.
I was just going to ask you, is that I don't know if my colors are set a little wrong. Oh, there goes Pinheiro.
Oh dear.
I was just about to ask you, that's black and pink, right? Because I don't know if my reds are set a little off.
On Pinheiro's car?
Yes.
Well, we'll take a look at Augusto. No, that's different. He's in a same team, but different coloured car. We'll have to wait for Pinheiro to come back out of pit road to take a look, but it is a very light shade of red, yeah, like reddish pink.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like, kind of like a hot pink.
As Bruning loses it coming out of the second chicane. Kevin Shine has finally made it out on track now. And the other, and he's the only one that hasn't set a time yet, is Kevin Shine, as he comes down across the line to finally put a time down at 1:40.3, not exactly lighting up the timesheets though.
Yeah, no, we saw Shine come out right behind Paul Ilbrink after Ilbrink set the hot lap. Ilbrink has dumped it into the 34s, sitting 6/10 quicker right now than his teammate Manuel Domingo.
Yeah, so Ilbrink showing that pace that's got him to the top of the points standings this season. I think he could claim the championship today if he gets a good result here at Monza, but obviously the 65-minute race, this is going to be a long one for a lot of these guys. 15 drivers going to take the grid here. We've got one just gone off there.
I think that was Kevin Shine out of the Rettifilo. Yep, it was.
Yep, and he's into the barrier there. Let's take a look at Bruno Canavas. Is the
Della Roggia, sorry.
Della Roggia. There. Canavas in the number 23, currently 11th in qualifying right now, as you see him in the F1 apps number 23, just coming through the Curva Grande. And we will get used to these drivers as they come along, so
of course,
as we go along. Dave Guild out on track right now is the teammate to Kevin Shine. Currently sitting in P7, good time for him, and he's just ahead of Samuel Augsburger, who's in P8 in the 21. And you see there's Augsburger right there, and that's a very nice looking Renault inspired scheme, I believe. Red, blue, gold and black.
That looks closer to Tyrrell. That's more Tyrrell blue than that old Renault blue.
Yeah.
It's still a beautiful looking car nonetheless. I think that's got like a chrome tint to it, you know, that glossy shine.
I do like a bit of chrome on a racing car, I will admit.
It looks great on the gold on the top of the bodywork there. It looks fantastic.
So we've got about 3 minutes left in qualifying now. Paul Ilbrink still at the top of the standings here. He's about 6/10 of a second faster than his teammate Manuel Domingo. And Domingo really has to really put a special lap in if he wants to beat his teammate here, the man in the number 9. Just not really getting him laid down right now. He was at the top of the standings until Paul Ilbrink finally got it together as he goes around. I believe that's Kevin Shine just with him right there. It is. And I think Shine and Guild are teammates to Danny Hoekstra. The only reason I can tell that is because Danny Hoekstra has the flags on the front wing, as well as Kevin Shine and Dave Guild. So possibly teammates. I need to. Oh, sorry.
I'm going off of livery with that because Hoekstra shares the same scheme, the same livery, the same scheme as Seth Mari.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm going off of. So I would assume Guild and Shine are teammates, Hoekstra and Seth Mari are teammates, Ilbrink and Domingo. I'm just kind of looking for the pair of cars. The one thing I did notice is that T-cam up at the top there, they haven't changed the colors to discern which car is which.
Yeah, and Savmari Sabox there coming through the Curva Grande. He's currently sitting P10 in qualifying right now. A lot of cars still out on track. The only ones not on track are Lubomir Moric as Canavas moves up to P5. Good time for him.
Yeah, very good time for him as his previous best lap was a 36.430. Gets it into the 35s in a big way. Nice run for Canavas.
Yeah. As we're looking now at Javier Alvarez just coming through the Lesmo corners now, right behind the 9 of Manuel Domingo. Cedric Bill up to second place. Good time for him. Only 1/10 of a second off of the fastest time there. That's going to be great. He's managed to get at least one of the Radicals cars off the front row.
Yeah, that, and he only managed a 35.7 in practice, so a 6/10 jump for Cedric Bill. He's been right up here with the two Radical drivers with as far as times go here in this session.
So Bill up to second, Alvarez up to 7th. So the two teammates there running pretty well in the blue, gold and black cars as Dave Guild now up to P5 in the Tulip Motorsports number 98.
So there's time on the session.
Yeah.
The hot laps will count.
So they need to get them in very quickly now.
Gill's just pulled off.
Yeah. Domingo just coming through the the first chicane.
That's the Rettifilo.
So he might be done. Augsburger is just coming to complete his qualifying lap now. So let's see what he can get in as he abandons it coming across the line. Sabolks is just coming into the Lesmos, so I think he's still got time.
I think Domingo actually got it in and timed it perfectly because he's still pushing this number 9 car here.
Yep, so let's focus in on Domingo right now as he looks to displace Cedric Bill for that second spot, or maybe getting himself up to the pole. So let's focus on the number 9 Radicals machine as he makes his way up the hill towards the Variante Ascari.
Noticing that they're keeping a very tight line through the kink and then swinging wide for the Ascari. Not something you normally see. Good run through Ascari, though, for Domingo.
Yep, as he makes the run down towards the Parabolica. Let's see what he can do here. Got no drafting help, so that might not help him at all. The final time for Paul Ilbrink of 1:35.047. He does not improve on his fastest time as here comes Domingo down towards the line. Let's see where this one is going to get him. And he won't get
his
it.
Time, not his position.
Yeah, he improves his time, not his position. So unfortunately, that will do it for him right now as we are going to bring you the grid order for today. I keep saying tonight, it's actually today. I don't know why I keep doing it. Anyway.
Sam's a little broken here because he's used to broadcasting these races at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so let's go
and now
through.
He's got one at 7 at night. He's a little broken here.
So let's go through the qualifying order as we start this race right now. Paul Ilbrink on the pole, Cedric Bill in second, Manuel Domingo in third, fourth is Lubomir Moritz, fifth is Javier Alvarez, sixth is David Guild, as we go through the remainder of the grid there, and we get ready for this start here. We've got Bruno Canavas down in P7, Samuel Augsburger in P10, Sathmari Sabolks down in P11. Now, he's going to be pretty disappointed with that one, Frank. He's going to have to make up some times. And Mark Bruning making his return to the grid after we took over his broadcasting. And Kevin T. Shine is on the back of the grid, the Brit, not having the best of sessions here at Monza. So here we go. We are ready to go racing here. A standing start for everybody right now. And Frank, this is going to be pretty special as we get things going here at Monza for 65 minutes.
Yeah, 65 minutes, and they're seeing it. I'm seeing here in the race chat here, they're trying to ask how many laps there's going to be. I think they're saying that the laps, unless that's liters, I think they're saying 55 liters of fuel. That doesn't sound right. Actually, no, that might be it. But they're kind of projecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 42 laps. I think is kind of where they're projecting this race to be.
Yep, so everybody just getting gridded up now. We are almost ready to go. Lights will be going on very shortly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are on. And lights are off, and we are racing here at Monza. Everybody off the grid very safely. And now it's that long run down to turn 1 into the chicane. And it looks like Paul Ilbrink might have the better start here. As here comes Cedric Bill to the inside. How is he going to fare? Everybody making it round the chicane very nicely right now as we go flying off towards the second chicane. Here we've got one. Everybody makes it around the chicane very safely as they go flying off towards the second chicane here, Frank.
Yeah, good call on the start there, Crofty, as these guys get through. Manuel Domingo ends up making up a position. He goes into P2, and those two Ferrari Red Radicals leading the way here at Monza.
We had a couple of people starting from pit road. Danny Herkstra and Dave Guild starting from pit road in this one as we go back to the lead battle here. Paul Elbrink is the leader. Domingo getting a fantastic start there, moving his way up to second ahead of Cedric Bill. Then Lubomir Moric into P4. Javier Alvarez moving on 2 spots up to P5. Good start for him in the number 7.
Yeah, without a doubt, Alvarez moving his way up ever so slightly. Lubomir Moric holding on to that 4th position right now, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but the smile on my face right now as we call this race, I don't know how long it's going to take to remove it, but it's not going anywhere for the next hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, brilliant start by everybody else. As Elbrink has Domingo right behind him. I'm not sure if team work is going to come into play here. Obviously, Elbrink is going to have the advantage as they come towards the line here for the end of the first lap, and Elbrink will be a leader, followed by Manuel Domingo. Cedric Bill into 3rd place. Lubomir Moric into 4th. Javier Alvarez into P5. Reinaldo Augusto in P6. But here comes his teammate Bruno Canavas to the inside into the chicane. They have contact, and that is not going to be good there for... Well, Augusto's going to be pretty angry at his teammate for that one.
Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily a rash move from Canavas, and it's on Augusto to leave Canavas the room on the inside. And it all just kind of came together as they went into the second half of the Rettifilio chicane there.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Augusto, it's Canavas who comes out the better of it.
Yep, and now Augusto has Sabox right behind him as well. As we go back to the lead battle right now, Elbrink has about 0.8 of a second lead over Manuel Domingo now. And Domingo starting to pull away from Cedric Bill as well. As things starting to settle down already, we're already on lap 2. The 2 cars behind him, the 2 teammates, Moric and Alvarez, keeping Bill very honest right here as they come through the Ascari chicane.
Yeah, it's a nice 5-car breakaway up here at the front with Javier Alvarez at the back of that train. So this is setting up to be a very good race here. You got 5 guys who are fairly even as far as speed goes, so this is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this develops.
Now we've got problems for Samuel Augsburger, and he has gone off at the Lesmo corner as Dave Guild has fallen back. Danny Herkstra in P13 now as Augusto has got back around Canavas again.
So a big move there from Augusto showing his speed. He's going to want to get back up as quickly as possible as these 3 guys come through the Parabolica. Augusto and Canavas with Seth Mari behind them. Nice. So far, a good run here.
Yep, we're back on board with Manuel Domingo, still staying right behind Paul Elbrink right now. Probably playing the team game here, just holding off Cedric Bill, who's in 3rd place right now. And Bill has his wing mirrors full of Lubomir Moric right now.
Yeah, and a good teammate, especially around Monza, is invaluable. If you have somebody, especially if you're racing for the championship, if you could have a rear gunner that you can trust to try to hold everyone off a little bit, that is invaluable, especially around a track like here.
Yeah, as they make their way through the Ascari chicane once again on lap 3. It's getting very interesting. Everybody getting spread out. Now let's go to Mark Bruning, running by himself right now, just a bit ahead of Kevin Shine, who's moved his way up from the back of the field up to P10 already. Atis de Beezing is in P11. Felipe Pinheiro, not having the best race himself, is in P12. And Danny Herkstra is starting to catch the number 10 as they come down towards the Parabolica.
Yeah, there might have been an issue towards the back of the field that we did not see, because Hextra's shown a lot of, well, not necessarily a lot more, but he has shown a decent amount of speed here, put in a time just over 35 seconds in qualifying at a 36.081. So he has pace in that car. There just might have been an issue that's put him 20 seconds behind the race leader, Ilbrink.
Slow down penalty for Ronaldo Augusto, having to let Canavas and Chabox through, cutting the chicane there on the first chicane there, and now is under pressure from Mark Bruning, and Bruning going to move up ahead of Augusto. That slowdown really hurting the number 2 right now.
Yeah, without a doubt, and that's something we don't have to worry about with oval racing. As there goes the two. Oh, pardon me, I'm on replay. But that is something that we don't have to worry about with oval racing is the corner cutting and the slowdown penalties. You're going to see that a lot here, and there are some tracks like Spa next week that are a lot more strict than others, like here at Monza.
Yep, so Augusto down to P9. He's got a bit of time ahead of Kevin Shine, so no problems for him. Problems for Samuel Augsburger. He's in pit road now, repairing some damage on that number 21 car. Bad start to the race for him as he sits in pit road getting some repairs done. Here we go, though. And look at Paul Ilbrink. He's out to nearly a 2-second lead now ahead of Manuel Domingo, who's got Cedric Bill to his inside now as they come down towards the first chicane. Bill going to move his way back up to second place there. Good pass by the number 5.
Yeah, tried to do a crossover, did Domingo, but Bill was able to complete the pass and hold him off. May have been a defensive line as well, as Lubomir Moric could have very well tried to throw it under Domingo as well. Good run for Bill and Moric, trying to put the pressure on the Radicals.
Yep, so Bill will have to set his sights on the lead. And now Paul Ilbrink is about 2.2 seconds up the road already, as Bill still trying to get away from Domingo. Moric and Alvarez are still right there as well. The two teammates just running behind that Radicals number 9. Then you're going back 6 seconds to Bruno Canavas, who's currently in P6. But we're going to stay focused on this battle for second place here. This one getting very spicy.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I believe part of the reason why you're seeing Paul Ilbrink up as far as he is, I believe you had said earlier that he's a pro in this thing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's running the Grand Prix World Championship in the past when that was going, so no surprise that he's definitely got a lot of speed in that number 16 machine. But it's going to be a good test for everybody else to see if they can catch him here. As they come out of the Parabolica, Bill looks like he might have a bit of speed here, but obviously they do have DRS in these cars, if I remember rightly.
I don't think so. I think they would have used it by now, certainly, especially on that qualifying run, as there goes Domingo trying to get around Bill, not far enough to make a move. And also looking here through our race timer here, Samuel Augsburger has called it an evening. He's done.
Yeah, so Samuel Augsburger is out. Dave Guild is almost a lap down as well. He's just coming through the Lesmo corners, and he is being caught by the race leader, Paul Ilbrink, so he will go a lap down soon enough, as we're looking on board with Cedric Bill coming out of the second chicane there, making his way down towards the first of the Lesmo corners. And this battle for second place starting to spread out a little bit. You see Alvarez just running a bit wide there through the first Lesmo.
Yeah, and if you saw the camera view that I was looking at, Cedric Bill took a lot of that AstroTurf on the outside of the first Lesmo compared to Domingo, and Domingo took a lot more on the outside of the second than Bill did. So two different lines, and they're both keeping pace with each other.
Yep, as they come out of the Ascari chicane, three cars very much in with a shout of passing each other, but Alvarez starting to drop off. And you look in the background there is Bruno Canavas with Sathmari Sabolks right behind him. And that is your battle there for P6. Mark Bruning and Ronaldo Augusto, that's your battle for P8 right there, as Augusto trying to recover from that slowdown penalty, which lost him all that time. And they're about 8 seconds ahead of Danny Herkstra, but it looks as though Canavas and Sabolks are starting to reel in Javier Alvarez, just ever so slightly though.
Yeah, and it was the slowdown penalty from Ronaldo Augusto that put them behind as far as they were. They were only about a second or two off of the front five, and then they got the slowdown penalty and pushed them even further back. So these guys are starting to get on with the program here, trying to catch up with the top five, as 2 through 5 right now are having an incredible battle up at the front.
Yeah, as we're looking at Augusto and Bruning having a battle here, and very getting aggressive here, as it looks like Augusto hit the grass coming through the Curva Grande. Here comes Bruning on the trying to look to the inside through the first of the Lesmos. Doesn't have the room there as they come towards the second Lesmo. Augusto trying to hold on here. Good pass going into the first chicane, but Bruning is not letting him get away with it. Let's go back to the battle for second place here as Cedric Bill just holding on there. And like I said before, Alvarez just not able to keep up with these three.
He's keeping up enough, but going back to that battle with Augusto and Bruning, you really need to have a great run out of the Della Roggia chicane in order to make it to make a viable move on the inside of the first Lesmo, because those two Lesmo corners are very, very tight, and that first Lesmo especially is deceptively long. So you really need a good run if you want to make a pass in the Lesmos.
And, big crash there! Augusto and Bruning into the outside of the Parabolica. Big crash for them both. Let's go back and see what happened here. Bruning looking for the inside there, and big collision between the two, or was it? No. It was Augusto lost the back end and both of them into the wall. Well, Bruning into the wall. Augusto just able to save it, but that might be Bruning's night right there.
That's exactly what happened. Is Bruning, you can see him crab walking into the pit lane, maybe on the back end of that replay. But yeah, that was all Augusto pushing it too hard coming out of the Parabolica, and Bruning just trying to avoid the accident, end up doing what Charles Leclerc did in the real race last week.
Yeah, it's Bruning makes his way. Yeah, Bruning out of pit road as well. We've got Kevin Shine in pit road as well. Some problems there for that team as Shine looks like he's on his way out of pit road now. Let's go back to the battle between Cedric Bill and everybody else behind him as this battle's still going on right here. But I said before that the battle between Augusto and Bruning was getting very aggressive. It definitely took a turn there through the Parabolica.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily aggression in the race in each other. That was aggression on the right foot of Augusto that kicked that whole thing off. One thing that is worth noting: there are no limits on tires, and there are no limits on fast repairs. So just because you have an accident does not necessarily mean you're done.
Absolutely not. We're looking at Cedric Bill just making his way through the first chicane here with Domingo, Moritz and Alvarez right there with him. And they are starting to pull away from Bruno Canavas again. It looks like Augusto, he had to tow, I believe, so he's still in pit road. Bruning is back out again as well, as is Kevin Shine, so no problems for them. Dave Guild is out on track as well. Those two Purple Tulip cars not having the best of days here. They're back in P12 and P13. How they would love to be up there with the top five drivers right now.
I think they're going to, but I don't think it's going to be in the capacity that they want to be. As just looking at this battle here from second and fourth, you have the two teammates of Moritz and Alvarez sitting behind Domingo, and boy, oh boy, does Domingo's car stick out like a sore thumb in a sea of blue.
Yeah, the dark shade of blue on Cedric Bill's car, and you've got the light shade of blue with the green and white on the cars of Moritz and Alvarez. And very close racing between these four right now, as Ulbricht's still extending his lead. The lead up to 3.6 seconds now. But just remember, they still have pit stops to contend with. And you never know, that might cost Ulbricht some time. You just don't know with these things.
Yeah, just because I believe the fuel is set to where they can finish the race on just one tank of fuel, but the tires are not going to make an hour and 5 minutes around this track. So it's going to be the tire pit stops that are going to be absolutely crucial. And when do you make it to leave yourself the most viable rubber for the duration of the race coming towards the end here?
Domingo taking a small look going into the chicane there. Did not have the... well, it was a bit too far back. Just taking a small little look to the inside of Bill as they come down towards the second chicane here. It looks like Domingo's under more pressure from Moritz than he is putting pressure on Cedric Bill right now. Yeah,
he's wants to attack, but his focus right now is on defending. Moritz has been putting a lot of steady pressure on the back end of Domingo's car, and Alvarez is sticking right here with them. He's closer than he's been in the last couple laps.
Yep, Lubomir Moritz in the number 66 machine, just running in fourth place right now. And they would love to get put the Radicals car back another position, but obviously at Monza, very difficult to pass around here. I think the best places to pass are into the first chicane and to, I believe, into the Parabolica, but you never know.
Yeah, no, those are really the two passing places around here. You can go into the Della Roggia chicane, which is the second chicane, and the Variante Ascari, but those are places where you need to have the move done and dusted before you even get to the corner. Otherwise, it's going to get very, very tight for the both of you.
Coming down towards the line now. Bill able to hold on for now. Domingo not really getting the run he wants here as they come down towards the first chicane again. Domingo taking a small look going into the chicane, but a bit too far back there, Frank.
Yeah, and that's kind of where he's been. They're all running very similar lap times, and they're keeping a very similar distance over these last 5 or so laps as Lubomir Maric moves out wide and allows Alvarez to go through. I wonder what that's about.
I think he might have had a slowdown coming through the first chicane.
Could have been it.
Take a look and see. And yeah, he cut that inside part of the chicane, going the part going right. Mm-hmm. He cut that inside line, and unfortunately, that gave him a slowdown, and that's put Javier Alvarez up into P4 now.
But you saw how well those two did that slowdown penalty. We saw before Augusto, who is now officially out of this race as I look down.
Yeah.
We saw how when Augusto had his slowdown penalty, it slowed down the entire group that was behind him, Alvarez and Maric. While there is a gap between those two guys, they still stayed very close to that front group.
Now Bill running slightly wide through the Parabolica there, but he has got a decent enough gap over Domingo now, and he's going to do a bit of the Indy snake coming down the main straight there. We don't see that very often around here.
Yeah, no, it's something you would think you would see more of with how long these straightaways are and how good these cars suck up. But look how quickly, we were talking about Alvarez falling off of the front trio. He's now bringing him back. He's now bringing him and Maric back up to that front pair of Bill and Domingo.
Yeah, there is Alvarez there. He's about 7/10 off the back of Domingo now. So this foursome starting to break apart a little bit. The two teammates starting to fall back ever so slightly. Domingo still right on the gearbox of Cedric Bill, who's doing a fantastic job of holding off that number 9 right now.
Yeah, he is, and Domingo has done a fantastic job of trying to stay up with him. And I think we're kind of seeing the pace of these two cars. Remember how a couple laps ago we were questioning whether Domingo was trying to attack or defend? I think he was more trying to defend now because he has some breathing room here. You'd figure he'd use it to attack, and he's not getting much closer than he was before.
Yep, as they come out of Ascari once again, we're on lap 12. Slight mistake there by Bill, running a bit wide out of Ascari, and that's why he's having to defend again as they come in towards the Parabolica once again to end another lap. And Domingo just trying everything else. There we go. Bill starting to run wide again. If he can't keep doing that, otherwise he's going to get a slowdown.
Yeah, he's pushing that car, and we've seen Domingo get out there onto that painted green area at the outside of Parabolica a couple of times as well. So these guys are pushing. Bill is trying to push that car for all it's worth, and there's going to be a little bit of help now as Ilbrink catches traffic in the form of Kevin Shine.
Fastest lap of the race going to Lubomir Maric there as he gets the draft behind his teammate Javier Alvarez.
His teammate.
Yeah, and he passed him into turn 1. So good time there for Maric of 1:36.12. So that's a pretty impressive time there.
Yeah, for a race lap as well on race fuel and that car being weighed down. He's definitely the quicker of the two teammates, and he'll bring Alvarez up to that front group with him. And I think it's only a matter of time here. He's got the confidence in the car now to lay down a lap like that. He's going to start pressuring the front two a little bit more now.
Yeah, as Maric is about a second behind Domingo now, and Cedric Bill still defending for everything he's worth right now as they come into the Ascari chicane once again. And Domingo just staying with him. They are coming up to Kevin Shine now. And Shine just moving out of the way there, just letting him by. Very good heads-up driving there by the Brit.
Yeah, trying to get as much slipstream as they possibly can off of him before dispatching of him. And unfortunately for Moritz and Alvarez, they caught up to him in a pretty bad spot, as they're going to end up losing time off of Bill and Domingo because of it.
Yeah, they did cost them time. Moritz, actually Alvarez only just got around Kevin Shine as they get into the chicane, so that's how much time they lost in that one. As Moritz actually gaining a bit of time, probably using the draft off Shine just to close that gap a little bit. The gap now down to 0.8 of a second between Domingo and Moritz, so good to see that happening right there. Let's go a bit back further in the field. Bruno Canavas there in P7, just holding off ahead of Shabolks right there, and Danny Hoekstra still running pretty strong there in P8. He's got about a 6-second gap ahead of the pink and black car of Felipe Pinheiro.
Yeah, Danny Hoekstra is in a very lonely place right now. He's 10.5 seconds off the car in front and about 7 seconds ahead of the car behind, so he's having a he is a Dutchman, is Danny Hoekstra, and he's having a very Max Verstappen-esque race, just kind of all by himself.
Oh, here we go. Big battle for third place here as Moritz put a move on the outside of Manuel Domingo. Going into Ascari, did not have the room there, but since that slowdown penalty, Moritz has really put his head down now and is really putting Domingo under pressure as they come towards the parabolic here, Frank.
Yeah, that's what I said. You had to have the move well and taken care of before you get into the Ascari, or something's going to happen, and that's exactly what happened there. Fortunately for Domingo, Moritz smart enough to let it go, but Moritz is all over Domingo right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he starts to make a move here.
And he won't. He's going to stay off the back of him there as they make their way into the first chicane here, and Cedric Bill able to hold on. He's probably going to be happy with the fact that Moritz is putting Domingo under pressure here as they come through the Curva Grande. Paul Ulbricht's lead is now out to 5.8 seconds now, so they're going to need a miracle to try and catch up to him at this point. But here we go into the second chicane. Domingo right in the back of Bill now as well, so these four have really bunched up again now.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how quick these guys could be, and in a certain line they get into a very tight battle. As I mean, you saw it in the Super Speedway race for the iRacing East Series last night. If you get in line in a certain way, you can make up ground faster than if that order was jumbled up. And we're seeing the same principle applied here. These guys got back into this order where they were close, and now they're right back on each other again.
Yeah, some very aggressive driving between Domingo and Moritz there. You saw Domingo. Oh, big twitch there by Domingo. That's going to cost him.
That'll definitely cost him straight line speed going into the Parabolica, and Moritz is being a little less patient every single time he gets closer to Domingo. He wants that third position. He wants that final place on the podium.
Bruno Canavas is in pit road after some problems here, I believe, for the... See if I can find out what happened here. He just brought it down pit road anyway, so that's a scheduled stop there for Canavas. Unfortunately, he's been in pit road for quite a while, though, so I'm guessing he might be serving a penalty a bit. But, as I take a breath, we go back to this battle for second place.
Done.
Yeah, Canavas is gone.
Wow.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting that to happen.
Yeah, no, he was having a good run sitting up in 7th position. Now it's gone.
Now here we go, Domingo on Cedric Bill going into the second chicane here. Going to get it done before the chicane. Great pass there by the 9. Moving his way back up to second place now, and already starting to pull away from Bill, who's now under pressure from Lubomir Moritz.
Yeah, Domingo, I think, said enough of the pressure from Morris. I got to start putting the pressure on Bill, and he does successfully with a great run through the Curva Grande and gets the move done before the De La Roggia chicane.
Yep, so Bill down to third place now. Moritz going to put him under pressure now as they come up towards Ascari. Here comes Domingo. Looks like he's already starting to put a gap on the guys behind him, so Domingo has pretty much been released here. And Moritz now sees a chance to get around the 5, who's looking like he's starting to struggle a little bit on old tyres.
Yeah, and these are all these are all identical setups, so they're running the same setup as everyone else. It's coming down to driver skill and how well you can save the tires. And I think Domingo, even though he was getting a bunch of dirty air off the back end of Bill's car, might have been able to save those tires a little bit via the draft.
Yeah, here comes Bill, getting a big draft from Domingo, coming down towards the first chicane here. Takes a little look, but does not have the advantage there going into the chicane as they come out. Still all four of them right there together. Domingo has a bit more speed coming out of the chicane. I thought it looked like he was starting to get away, but that doesn't seem to be the case right here.
Yeah, and all that speed coming out of the chicane is all rear tire life. If you have better rear tires, you're able to mat the throttle a little bit quicker and not have to worry about the back end stepping out on you, the way we saw with Reinaldo Augusto earlier in the race.
Yeah, as Bill now under pressure from Moritz again. It's a lot of back and forth as the laps go by here. We're on lap 17 of whatever. We're 26 minutes in. So we're not even halfway into this race yet, and a lot of excitement already. A lot of changes in the positions here. Atish Debizing, let's focus on him right now. Down in P9, and he's about 41 seconds off the back of Felipe Pinheiro. You're seeing a lot of difference in styles and class here as this field starts to separate even more here, Frank.
Yeah, Debizing actually running quicker now than his qualifying time. I can't tell. Does he have a little... No, he doesn't. I was going to ask if he had a little bit of wing damage up at the front there, but apparently he looks okay. But yeah, it's just sometimes you hit tracks that are not your zone. And it looks like for Debizing at least that's the case here. We've seen it a lot in oval racing. It's the same in road racing.
The Kiwi looking very strong there in P9, but he does have... Mark Bruning starting to close in on him. You see him right there. Bruning's recovering from that wreck he had into the Parabolica. He's managed to get himself back up into the top 10 as Dave Guild and Kevin Shine are still struggling back there in 11th and 12th. We only have 12 drivers left running in this race here, Frank. Attrition, it's not really a big thing around Monza, but today it's really starting to show.
Yeah, and it takes one mistake. It may not put you out of the race, especially with the fact that we have unlimited fast repairs, but it certainly will put you out of contention for a race win. And I'm also looking at another guy, Danny Hextra. He's actually putting in very, very good lap times. He's drawing a little bit closer to Seth Murray up there in 6th position. Give it enough time and a good run through the pit cycle, he might have him for 6th.
Yeah, as he's coming up the hill towards the Ascari chicane, good to see him running strong there in P7. He's about 9 seconds off of Shabolks right now, so not really putting anybody under pressure. He's not under any pressure himself. He's 10 seconds ahead of Pinheiro. We've got one off the track there. That's Kevin Shine having a big spin coming out of the Ascari chicane.
Yeah, and I think if we look... Yeah, he just took too much line. Oh, he had a wiggle going onto that back straightaway and just ended up nose rear into the inside wall. So I'm sure he'll be bringing it pit side here.
Yeah, as we go back live now, and Shine is back up to speed again. Let's see if he does bring it down pit road right now, as he's got the inside line, and yes, he will bring it down pit road. He's going to have to get a new front wing and probably a new rear wing as well. So we'll pay attention to that one as we go back to this battle for second place here. Domingo just still holding off. And Bill! Oh! As Bill goes off! Oh dear!
Yeah, Cedric Bill, Domingo went way too hot into the De La Roggia chicane, and unfortunately Bill is going to suffer from this, and somehow Domingo has managed to stay ahead of the teammates of Moritz and Alvarez.
We're going to get another look at that one in just a second. Just going to...
Here comes Moritz on Domingo on the outside of Ascari. Domingo holds it.
As we're just looking at the replay between Domingo and Bill there. Big upset there for Cedric Bill. He's really lost the draft now and is being caught now by Sabolks. And Bill will not be happy about that, as As you're right there, Domingo just holding off the two teammates here. Looks like Moritz might have the run here. Coming out of the Parabolica though, here we go. Big run for Moritz as they come down towards the chicane. And Moritz is going to take it away here from Domingo before they get to the chicane. So big pass there by the number 66. And here comes Domingo back again to the inside. It's going to be very close as Moritz, not able to hold on. He might get a slowdown from that as well. As Domingo just able to hold on. Very aggressive move into the chicane.
Domingo's like a cat with 9 lives. He very easily could have gotten run over going through the Della Roccia last time. Somehow kept it in front of everyone and then was able to fight off a very good attempt from Moritz. Was able to keep him on that outside and force Moritz into a mistake he did not want to make.
Absolutely not, as we are on lap 20. And it's really coming down to it now here as we are we're pretty much halfway into this race now. So very good race. I'm really enjoying this one as Felipe Pinheiro comes out of pit road after making his first stop of the day. So green flag, the pit stops are starting to come into play here for the people at the back of the field at least.
Yeah, and Cedric Bill has seen the red mist. He is right back on the rear end of Javier Alvarez. And I'm sure he is going to be wanting a shot at that red car at Domingo one more time as Moritz puts him under heaps of pressure.
And Sabolt is really starting to close in on this guy as he's cut the gap between himself. As we've got two tickets down pit road here, Alvarez and Bill.
Yep. Moritz, he's got a run going into the Rettifilo chicane. What's going to happen here? I think he's going to let Domingo have it. Now these guys, in order to cover off Alvarez and Bill, are going to have to come in this time. We see it a lot in the oval racing. We talk about it a lot in the oval racing. The undercut is huge. Get on the fresh tires as quickly as you can. It means twice as much here in road racing because there's so many corners that you need those tires for.
Cedric Bill getting a big jump on Alvarez, and Alvarez looks like he might have a penalty here. Big problems for the 7 as he's still in pit road. Bill will get out ahead of him, but a big upset there for the number 7 as he falls foul of a penalty here.
It might be a speeding penalty. Now these cars do have something that the oval cars do not have, and that is a pit road speed limiter. You can press that button and it keeps you at pit road speed. Sometimes you engage that thing a little bit too late and you just don't get down to pit road speed in time as Domingo has a horrible run through the Variante Ascari.
Oh, they do have a pit limiter on the Indy cars.
That's fair, true,
yeah.
Yes.
Here comes Moritz again to the outside, coming towards Parabolica as Moritz almost has it, but Domingo going to dive it to the inside there through this long right-hander. They're going to be side by side as they come out now, and Moritz has to be careful. You can't get very loose there as Domingo brings the pit side.
I was going to say one of those two is not going to be able to pit this time, and I would not be surprised if Moritz comes out behind both Domingo and Bill if he pits this next time by. Ilbrink still has not come into the pits.
Yeah, and we see the 10 of De Beezing just coming out of pit road there. As coming into pit road with Domingo is Sabox and Danny Herkstra.
Cedric Bill's just entering the Parabolica now, so the question is, I'm assuming he's going to come out ahead of Domingo. The question is where?
I just see him there just coming down the start-finish straight right now. Where is Domingo? Domingo is already back out on track. And Domingo's out by a long shot.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a lot closer because they were a lot closer coming in. I'm surprised that Bill is not as close to Domingo as he is.
Yeah,
or as he should be.
So the first pit stop of the day, separating the field by quite a bit. Sabo's getting the jump up to P5 now. Good to see him moving his way up to the top 5. Danny Herkstra in P6. Felipe Pinheiro getting the jump on a few drivers here. He's up to P7 now in that number 20 machine.
And that's what happens. Sometimes you just stay out of the wrecks and you're going to end up getting a good finish regardless. Here comes Paul Ilbrink into the lane. I'm assuming Lubomir Moritz is going to be in next. He's coming through Parabolica, keeping it to the inside. So, yeah, he is in right now as well.
You see him right there. Bit of a blur. Oh, he had to really hit the brakes there to slow down, though. As you see him just making his way down to pit road right there. Ilbrink is in for his stop. Very unusual angle that he's in, but it's the right angle, I suppose. As he's down and away.
As you do.
Yeah.
But the fight here is going to be between Moritz and Domingo because they're going to come out right on each other. Domingo is straightening out of Parabolica now as Moritz is starting to roll out.
Yep, there we go. Here comes Domingo down the start-finish straight. Moritz is just getting up to speed here, and this is going to be very close as they come down toward the chicane, side by side, and Moritz might be able to hold on to this one, and he does. Good pit stop getting the undercut on Domingo there.
Yeah, he got the overcut.
Overcut then, okay.
On Domingo, but see, that right there, that's the excitement you don't get in oval racing right there. Is that run out of pit lane into a tight turn one. Who's going to make it through first? That's the stuff you miss in oval racing.
Yep, and here comes Domingo taking a look on Moritz going in towards the second chicane here, and Moritz able to hold on for now, and they are they're 12 seconds behind Ilbrink, so Ilbrink able to hold on to the lead. He had a pit stop in hand. That's how big the gap was between Ilbrink, Moritz and Domingo.
Yeah, just about. But this fight here for Moritz is not over. Hitting a lap later than Domingo. Domingo's tires are heated up a little bit more than Moritz's tires are, so Moritz a little bit more prone to spinning if he pushes that car a little too close to the limit.
Yep, you see Domingo right there just coming out the Ascari chicane. Big run there is right on the tail of Moritz as they come down towards the parabolic. You see Cedric Bill in the distance there. He's going to want to try and close the gap as Moritz able to hold on going into the Parabolica. Now this is why. Oh, and there it is. Domingo, big mistake on the exit of the Parabolica. Now they're side by side, Frank.
Yep, tried to push it a little too hard on those colder tires, and here comes Domingo. It looks like Domingo might have had to let off a little too much because I think Moritz is actually gapping him a little bit.
Yeah, so Moritz able to hold on somehow and keep the lead, and they do hit the chip there when they unfortunately when they are full speed down the straights here. These cars not able to go the same speeds as Formula 1 cars, obviously. That might be what happened to Domingo. They're getting too much of a draft and just hitting that top speed limiter.
Yeah, and that's, you're going to see a Formula 1 car do what, 190 going down into the Variante Rettificio, which is the first chicane. Here you're only seeing about 165, 170, so yeah, a definite loss of power. I would say akin to the amount of power that the 2015 McLaren had.
Pretty much.
A cheeky little shot to McLaren there.
Yeah, I know, right? F2. Oh, GP2. As Moritz still able to hold on against Dominguez. They are coming up on Atish de Beezing, so this might play in as a factor with regards to how these guys sort their battle out. But these guys been pretty much inseparable since the drop of the green flag here, and it doesn't look like it's going to be ending anytime soon.
No, just think 6 or 7 laps ago we were talking about Moritz falling back because of a slowdown penalty, and now he's up in P2 right now from 5th after that penalty.
Now you got to spare a thought to Javier Alvarez, though. Getting that penalty in pit road there, that's put him all the way back to P8 now, and very much out of it with regards to getting up there. But the battle now is down between Moritz and Domingo. Bill is starting to lose time now to the second and third place drivers, so Bill not really making any headway into these two right now.
Yeah, no, last lap, I'm not sure if Bill had an issue or he ran wide or something, but Bill ran a 37.4 or 137.4 last lap. Compare that to Moritz's 136.4, so he either had an issue or he just does not have the pace on this set of tires.
Yep, so let's bring up the battle box here between Moritz and Domingo. Moritz up 2 places as they are coming up on De Beezing. Oh, they've already passed him. Never mind. De Beezing's just back there as we're looking at the battle for second right now. And this, like I said before, this has been a battle that's been going on since the drop of the green flag between Domingo and Moritz. Cedric Bill was holding on to that second place for all his worth, but had that big mistake into the second chicane off the back of a mistake from Domingo. So if you're just joining us, that's what's happened right there. Cedric Bill holding on for the longest time in second place, but a mistake from lost the position to Domingo. Oh yeah, big shot as they come into the chicane. Oh, contact!
Just a little. That was about as minuscule a contact as you can get, and Moritz trying to push as hard as he can, but a clean enough run for those two coming out there, and Moritz was able to hold the position.
Yeah, and Domingo just trying everything he can to stay behind the 66 as they come into the second chicane here. This is some great racing between these two.
Yeah, it is, and they're keeping pace with Ilbrink while doing it. Now they're going to lose some time here on this lap, but they came out of the pits about 12.7 seconds behind Ilbrink. Coming to the line that last time, they were just over 12 seconds, so they've been catching the leader, Paul Ilbrink.
Well, but since they had that contact into the first chicane, they've actually lost a second. They're now 13 seconds behind Ilbrink now, so...
Yeah, that's to be expected, but when those two were running as they are right now, they were catching the leader.
Yeah, and they are doing that now. Let's go back to Cedric Bill. He's got about a 2-second gap over Shafmari Shabox there. And Shabox kind of keeping Bill honest. There's about 2.2 seconds between the two. Danny Herkstra is a further 3 seconds behind Shabox, and then you got 21 seconds back to Felipe Pinheiro. So potentially a battle brewing between the two Tulip cars and the number 5 car of Cedric Bill.
Yeah, and looking at Hextra.
Sorry to cut you off there, Frank. They're side by side through the chicane again. It looks like Domingo might have him this time, and he does. Domingo up to second place now.
Yeah, just immediately right back into the draft goes Moritz. Going to try to get a slingshot out of the Rettifilo here, or out of the Curva Grande and into the Rettifilo. Oh, who is that stopped?
Oh, that's David. That's Kevin Shine.
Guild.
Oh, it's
that's Guild.
Yeah, Guild.
He's high centered. He's not going to be able to roll that car off.
No, he's stuck on that. He's going to have to tow.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can. You can see the back tire spinning. He doesn't realize he's high-centered on that curb. He's trying to tilt it, just get a little bit of grip off the rears, but it's not going to happen.
A very strange incident for Guild there. He actually went off left in the chicane, got into the gravel, and he reversed onto that curb, which got him stuck. So he's kind of done that to himself there, as there goes Alvarez.
Yeah, that means he got way too much of the inside curb at the first bit of the De La Roggia, and that's how he ended up where he was, and then backed up to where he is. And now he's getting his teammate Kevin Shine to give him a beat.
That is brilliant teamwork between those two. Brilliant.
That's called teammate of the year right there.
Kevin Shine, you are a hero.
To David Guild, at least.
Yeah.
My goodness, what a show. Good job, guys.
Meanwhile, back at the front, Manuel Domingo has extended his gap over Lubomir Moritz. Now the gap is about half a second between the two, so like a cork in a bottle, it looks like Domingo has been released here from the back of the number 66.
Yeah, that ain't that one of the dirtiest things you've ever seen, though. That's it's incredible. Oh man, you'd never see that in real F1.
No, you wouldn't, as they come out of the Lasmo corners. Domingo and Moritz. Shine and Guild still running, thanks to a nice little shove there from Shine. Guild is going to bring it down to pit road, though, to possibly repair his rear wing now after Shine giving that little shove.
Yeah, it wasn't too much of a shove. I would have figured Shine would have had to come in to fix his front wing. But they both look fine. He might Guild just might need tires at this point.
Yep, as he comes down to his pit box.
Ilbrink just passing him by, and Domingo and Moritz now are going through or coming out of Parabolica. They've just hit the start line now.
Yep, as Guild is back out on track again now. Right behind the second and third place guys, as it looks like Moritz is starting to close that gap between himself and Domingo again.
Yeah, and very wisely letting those two battle it out and falling in behind them instead of trying to get out in front or split them. So a very smart move there from Dave Guild. The IQ on this team that we've seen over the last couple laps is incredible.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. I mean...
Oh, yes, without a doubt.
Yeah, if you get stuck, just rely on your teammate to push you off the curb. It's fine.
Yeah, because anybody else in this race would have realized, okay, I'm high-centered. Let me just take the 3-minute towing penalty here and just take it on the chin and go. But no, Guild had enough presence of mind to call Shine and say, hey, next time you come through this chicane, you might give me a little nudge.
Yeah. Great teamwork as we're still focused on this battle for second place there. Domingo losing a bit of time there too. Moritz, the gap is about 0.4 of a second, so Moritz is in drafting range, but probably not close enough to make a pass just yet.
Yeah, no, Moritz might be trying to save his tires a little bit here. He used them up a lot to try to get in front and stay in front of Domingo. He might be trying to save a little bit here so we can mount a charge a little bit later on, as we've got, just under 20 minutes left in this race?
Yeah, and Kevin Shine going straight on through the first chicane there. Kind of very similar to how Vettel suffered at the Italian Grand Prix last week, but no brake failure and he didn't hit those polystyrene boards.
Listen here, you. I need to be reminded of any of that.
And more problems for Kevin Shine, I think. No, he lets Mark Bruning by. Bruning, we've not spoken about him much in the last few minutes. He's up into P9 now, and he's about 30 seconds off of Javier Alvarez. And Alvarez is starting to close the gap on Pinheiro now, Frank.
Yeah, Bruning kind enough again, as we saw at the beginning of the race, kind enough to give us our lap guide around here at Monza. We thank him very much for that. Last car on the lead lap right now, running in P9. And Alvarez, another one who's a subject of penalty. You're right, just under 5 seconds now behind Felipe Pinheiro.
Yep. So Pinheiro just running by himself right now, trying to manage the gap between himself, as Pinheiro ran a bit of a slide through the chicane there.
That's the rear tire catching curb is all that is, that slide. That's not necessarily him on the power. That's that high, that orange curb kicking the back end of that car out.
More problems for David Gill. Ran off track there through the Parabolica. So few problems, more problems there for the number 98. But he's at least he didn't get stuck this time.
I was going to say, at least he didn't need a shove
to
get out of it. Is just in front of them, Moritz is still trying to set up this move on Manuel Domingo there in the 9.
The Beasing in pit road for, I believe, his second stop of the day. So back marker's starting to bring it in for another green flag pit stop here. I don't know if they have safety car sessions, but I'm thinking if Guild was stuck on that curve for any longer, would they have brought out the safety car? I don't think they would have, would they?
No, I think they would have just yelled at him to
tow the car,
to finally tow it. And now out comes DeBeasing, and this is I would say, let me try to put it in a nicer term. As compared to the guys at the front, an unnecessary second stop. The guys at the front could go 1. I'm thinking the guys at the back just want the freshest tires they can get.
Yeah. Personal best there for Manuel Domingo, setting a 136.330. A personal best for Javier Alvarez as well. So Still a lot of life left on the tyres, so they can still go a bit longer. As you see Domingo there taking the far right there on the track, coming off of the parabolica there, trying to fend off Moritz, and he's doing it pretty well. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, no, and that's a fair line to take, especially around Monza. You do try to get as low as you possibly can, coming off of the parabolica and under the F1 podium and under the flag stand. So that's not an unusual line. Try to keep it as straight as you can coming off of parabolica for as much speed going into the first chicane.
Yeah, Moritz has a bit better speed coming off the second chicane there. They've extended the gap over Cedric Bill to 8 seconds now. So Bill looks like he might have just settled down though. He can't settle down too much because, like I said before, Schabox is not too far away. And Danny Hoekstra starting to catch his teammate now as well.
Yeah, that 4, 5, and 6 have been catching each other slowly but surely even before the pit stops. And now, you look at the race now, and the podium is pretty much set. It's just a matter of which order are they going to finish in. But 4, 5, and 6, there's still a lot to battle for there between Cedric Bill and the two teammates of Seth Murray and Hoekstra.
Yeah. So there is Cedric Bill, there is Schabox just coming out of the Ascari chicane, there is Hoekstra. These guys starting to bunch up ever so slightly, so we should have a battle. We could have a nice battle for fourth place here between these three drivers. This battle between Domingo and Moritz, though, I've got a feeling this is going to carry on right to the bitter end between these two.
Yeah, we're coming down to the last 10 minutes or so in this race, so the lap count of between 41 and 42 laps is appearing to be accurate. But these guys have been doing an absolutely fantastic job, an enjoyable race from start to finish so far. And this battle for second, it's a little dull right now, but I'm sure it's going to kick up, as well as 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Another retirement on the track there. Kevin Shine calling it a day, unfortunately, so he is out. So if David Gill gets stuck again, then he won't have his teammate to back him up now.
Not the teammate of the year, no.
Unfortunately, Kevin Shine is out as Gill moves up to P11 now, so we only have 11 drivers left in this race now. And at the moment, it's this man, Paul Ilbrink, really controlling things from the get-go, and he's led from start. And it looks like he's going to lead to the finish now, barring any mistakes, but he hasn't made a single mistake here tonight.
Yeah, no, it was really when his teammate Mingo got passed on lap 3 or 4, that was really when Ilbrink started to put the hammer down and really start to focus and drive out in front of these guys. Second and third are still running about the same lap times as he is, but with, what is that, 12 and a half minutes to go, 11 and a half minutes to go, he's pretty well clear right now.
Yep, as we go back to the battle for second place here, and it looks like Domingo has had better speed coming off the parabolica there, coming down towards the first chicane, and they're just ahead of David Gill there. I believe Gill has just been lapped again, so Gill not having the best of days here. Atish de Beezing still holding on to that last spot in the top 10, doing a very good job here. Remember, he started about, what was it, at the back of the field he started? And
14th.
Yeah, so going to get a decent top 10 out of this in that very nice Suzuki coloured car, the Frontline Racing.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Find positions.
Very much so. His teammate Simon Augsburg not having the best of days though, so really keeping it up there for the team.
This battle here for fourth is getting ready to kick off because the two teammates of Zethmari and Hoekstra are right up with each other now, and they're really not far off at all from the number 5 of Cedric Bill. So this is getting ready to kick off here.
Yep, as we have literally 10 minutes left to go in this race. This battle starting to heat up now, possibly just between teammates, but if they can keep up to Cedric Bill, possibly a three-way battle for that 4th spot as Ilbrink crosses the line again. Domingo and Moritz just coming out of the parabolica now. They are starting to slowly eat into that time, but I don't think they've got enough time to close in on the race leader right now. As
right.
Domingo sets a new personal best.
Yeah, no, I think right now they need to start eating about a half a second a lap, a little bit more even, out of Ilbrink's lead if they want to have a chance to catch him. But here comes Danny Hekstra on Zaf Mari going into the Rettifilio, and Hekstra has the position.
Yeah, good pass on his teammate there for 5th place. Danny Hekstra moving up to P5, and now will Sabox try and take that position back again. He's right on his tail as they come through the Curva Grande. Really got to jink it to the left here, and he's going to have the inside line coming towards the second chicane. He's going to dive it down the inside. No, he's going to pay a lot of respect there towards his teammate as they come through the chicane. Oh!
He just caught too much of that rear end of the curb. We saw it before. You catch that left rear on that orange curb on the inside of the Della Roggia, and it just sends you around. It just picks you up and throws you around.
Yeah, looking at a replay from that, just sent him around there. Luckily did not hit anything, and he will carry on his merry way, but what a disappointment there. He was really setting himself up for a nice battle between himself and his teammate, and possibly Cedric Bill as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think we talked about the right cars being in the right position in line to be as quick as they possibly can be. I think if he would have allowed Hekstra to go, not fight him, they would have both fought Cedric Bill at the end of this race, because Hekstra has been on a run here as of late.
Yeah, we've got the battle for 4th here now. Bill has actually lost a couple of spots. Obviously, that was through the pit stops and the mistake he made through the second chicane. But the gap now between Hekstra and Bill is down to 1.6 seconds at the first chicane. So Hekstra has Bill in his sights, and he's pretty much locked on target at this point.
Yeah, but those two are getting closer, but the gap between Domingo and Moritz right now is about the length of a gearbox. So they are right up on each other. After Moritz allowed him to escape by about a half a second, he has pulled that right back in.
Yeah. As
David Guild now out as well.
Yeah, David Guild has called it a day now, so he is out of this race now. So we only have 10 drivers left running in this race, and you know what? I don't mind that. I mean, 10 drivers is still a decent race between these guys. If you go back to the battle between Bill and Hekstra, and you've got the battle between Domingo and Moritz, as the Beezing has had an incident there. He's my timing and scoring is telling me that he's had a crash somewhere.
He might have extended a little too far in one corner, because I'm looking back, and he, at least last lap, he looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine to me, so I don't know why it's telling me that he's had a crash, because it doesn't look like he's had any damage on his car, so...
He might have just had an off, extended one corner a little too far, maybe.
My timing and scoring is telling me Porkies. Go back to the battle for second place now. We've got about 6 minutes left in this race, and it's down between Manuel Domingo and Lubomir Moritz for second place right now. Paul Ilbrink has extended his lead again up to 13.2 seconds, and is pretty much off into the distance now, as Domingo and Moritz are left fighting who's going to get that second step on the rostrum.
Yeah, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with how timed races work, there's a 105-minute time limit on this race, and it goes by race time. So Paul Ilbrink, as of the last time around, had done 58 minutes. It'll be around about an hour now as he crosses the line here coming up, and it's an hour and 5 minutes, and then you complete that lap. In other forms of timed racing, like say motocross, it's time plus one lap. This is just to the time, finish the lap you're currently on, and then that's the race over.
The Beezing in pit road for I believe, a repair there, so he must have gone off somewhere. So he is just leaving pit road now, as Domingo and Moritz carry on their battle. And like I said, this one's going to go back down to the wire now as Cedric Bill and Danny Hoekstra sets the new fastest lap of the race. Right behind Cedric Bill, so they're right on the top of each other now.
Yeah, Hoekstra's been absolutely flying, and he has caught up to Cedric Bill in quite a fashion here as he's looking for these last 5 minutes. He wants that fourth place finish just as badly as Bill.
Yeah, Bill setting a personal best, and then straight after him, Danny Hoekstra setting the fastest lap of the race as they come into the second chicane here. Hoekstra is right there with Bill now as they come down towards the Lesmo corners. We've got two very tantalising battles here as we get to the final part of this race now, Frank.
Yeah, and it's going to be good. Both now again, the podium is pretty much set, barring Domingo and Maric getting together. It's just a matter of which order they're going to be in on the podium. But still, as this season wears on, you want every single point you can get. So that battle for Cedric Bill and Hoekstra, while it might not be for a podium, is still massively important to the two of them.
There is Bill, there is Hoekstra. He's lost a bit of time there coming out of Ascari. But it's going to be like Sainz chasing after Gasly all over again. Let's see if he can close that gap and, you know.
Yeah, you got that orange car of Hoekstra, which honestly is reminding me a lot of the old Arrows.
A little bit.
The old orange Arrows, a little bit more orange on that car in place of the black, and that's what it's really bringing me to.
I mean, the orange Arrows, I mean, Jos Verstappen ran the Arrows. So, another, the father of the Dutch hero was Sabolts in pit road. So, some of these guys not able to make it to the end here.
Yeah, no, and Hoekstra had one heck of a run, no pun intended, coming out of the first chicane, and he is right on the back of Cedric Bill, and Bill taking a defensive line. Here comes Hoekstra around the outside at the De La Roccia, but Bill, having that preferred line, is able to stay ahead of him.
Just barely, and Hoekstra is definitely up for this one as he's going to battle right to the end for that fourth spot now. Manuel Domingo still holding on ahead of Lubomir Maric, and Maric is running out of time here. He's got 2 minutes left in this race to get this done, plus the white flag. He's running out of time here.
3 laps. I'd say about 2 to 3 laps roughly.
Yeah.
So both of these guys, both Maric and Hoekstra, are going to have to get a move on, and Hoekstra is right back on him after having that bad run being offline at the De La Roccia.
As Paul Ilbrink smashes the lap record around here for the Formula 3.5, a 1:35.71. What a time there just to finish things off here at Monza.
If you're going to win, put dadgum exclamation point on it. So he might actually slow it down here intentionally on this lap. He's got a wide enough lead. If he slows it down far enough here, this could be the last lap.
Hoekstra putting a move on Bill through the first chicane here. Almost contact between the two, but Hoekstra really wanting this position as they come through the Curva Grande now down towards the second chicane. Is he going to get enough of a run? He's right on the gearbox as they come for the Curva Grande. Going to have the inside line.
He's got the move this time. He's got it.
Yeah. But Bill going to dive it in there, and Hoekstra going to have the inside line on the exit of the chicane. Big drag race towards the Lesmos, and Bill just able to hold on by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, Bill had the momentum on the outside lane. His wheels were rolling, but a great run from Hoekstra and a wonderful defense from Bill, as I think Ilbrink is... No, he's going for it. We might have one more lap here.
Yeah, Ilbrink coming out of the final turn. And he's got time to do one more lap here, so... Yeah, he's going to cross the line before the time runs out, so he's going to have the white flag next time by. So, Ilbrink, with 2 laps to go for him, Domingo and Maric. And Maric has to do something here. He's right on the tail of Domingo as they come down towards the chicane. Domingo just doing what he can to hold on, but here comes Maric to the outside. It's going to be last of the late breakers here as Domingo just holding on. Maric having to yield once again.
And look, here's Hextra going down into the same corner. Hextra's ahead of Bill going into the Rettifilo, but Bill has the line. Oh, they're going to get close. The line's going to turn to Hextra's, and Hextra's had a great run out of this corner. They're side by side again going through the Curva Grande.
Yep, drag race again towards the second chicane here between Hextra and Bill, and Hextra's going to have the inside line coming to the chicane, and Hextra's going to take it. Hextra onto P4, and this battle is going to continue, but Hextra has the advantage now as we come towards the white flag lap.
And I think Hextra meant to pass it there. There was Bill wide. Oh, he's pushing that car, and he somehow kept it on the circuit.
Let's go back to
I think Hextra set up that move in the Della Roggia. He set that up in the first chicane because you saw he didn't go to the inside for the first chicane.
Oh, checker flag is out. Yeah, as the checker flag comes out for Paul Ilbrink, he crosses the line and wins here at Monza. Great performance here by Paul Ilbrink as we look back to this battle between Domingo and Moritz. Moritz has to try something here towards the line, but it's going to be too late. Manuel Domingo will cross the line, or will he? As they come to the line, and it will be Manuel Domingo holding on, and it makes it a Radicals 1-2 here at Monza. Moritz will cross the line for third. Let's go back to the battle between Bill and Hextra. It's going to be too much for Bill to catch up as Hextra's going to cross the line for P4. Bill for P5. Javier Alvarez just making his way out of the Ascari chicane here. He's going to be credited with P6 as he's way ahead of Felipe Pinheiro. Shabolks, for some reason, taking a pit stop there near the end. He's going to drop to P8. Mark Bruning going to be P9, and Artista Beasing will be credited with the last driver running and in the top 10. But Frank, what a fantastic race we've seen here today.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. And Bill put it out a little bit too wide going through the Parabolica, so they were a lot closer than that last lap would have suggested. But to see battles for second and third and fourth and fifth right on that last lap, it was absolutely incredible to watch.
Yep, I was looking for something right here. Never mind. Let's go with that. As that is your race winner there. Paul Ilbrink, we'll get a word with him in just a second. But yeah, a fantastic run here for him. Manuel Domingo going to be credited with second place. Radicals 1-2. And then you got Positive Sim Racing in P3. Danny Hextra for Tulip Racing in P4. Cedric Bill, the privateer there in P5. Then Javier Alvarez for the other Positive Sim Racing in P6. Felipe Pinheiro, the privateer in P7. Then Shabolks, the Delta Sport driver in P8. P9 going to Marcellus Bruning. And Artista Beasing in P10 here. So Paul Ilbrink going to be credited with the victory here. And you know, I'm just taken aback by that race.
Yeah, no, that was was it worth the 3 years of waiting?
Oh, hell yeah, it was.
Question. Yeah, no, that was definitely an incredible race, and just little pockets and little battles all over the place, and that was a very fun race to watch, a very fun race to call.
Absolutely. So we are going to go straight to the interviews right now. We're going to try and find our race winner, Paul Ilbrink, and we're going to bring him right up here now. As Frank, I believe you have Paul Ilbrink with you right now.
I do. Paul Ilbrink, Frank Marchese in the ESBN booth. You got us?
Oh, yeah, I do.
What a race, a clean race you ran right from the word go. How was it for you out there today?
It's quite challenging, to be honest. Like, the setup that I used wasn't like the most stable, so I was happy that I had a little gap after the first couple of laps because I could just tune it down a little bit, take a bit more easy through some corners, especially Ascari, which could be a bit sketchy, but yeah, all went well. I guess the cars behind also like had a little bit of battles or made some mistakes because they dropped back a bit further along the race. So yeah, I'm happy with another win. So
you've now won the last 2 weeks in a row. going into Spa next week, I'm sure it's a track that everyone's going to be ready for. I'm sure you're going to be ready for it as well. Yes.
As ready as I'll ever be. You know, it's not gonna be anything special. Like, it's a good track to drive, but yeah, should be fun.
Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you out of here?
Sure, my teammate Manuel, who did a good job in finishing second, and all my other teammates at Radicals Online, and our partners and sponsors: Armor Centrum, Cranfield Simulation, Track Racer, Joel Real Timing, Turn Racing, MOETF Podcast, Six Sideways, and Pixel Dust.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. About as entertaining a race as you could have wanted for being out there for the win. Paul Ilbrink, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks.
As we are going to go, well, no, I don't think we're going to get an interview in with our second place driver. So
no, I have not seen him. I think we're just going to go right to third with Moritz here.
Yeah, well, let's go to Moritz here as we are going to bring him into the booth. Lubomir Moritz, Sam up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello guys, I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Third place on the night here, but you really gave Domingo a good fight here tonight. That looks pretty exciting from up here. I'm guessing it was pretty exciting for you in the car there.
Yes, indeed, we had a really good time together as well with Javier and Cedric, as we had quite a nice pack. And as we knew, it was quite a tough race, and just a speed limiter was deciding who will be leading the next lap.
Yeah, I mean, from the get-go, you were right there with Domingo from the get-go, and then obviously after the pit stops, things kind of separated. But you stayed with the number 9 as after the pit stops. Did you feel like if you had an extra lap, you might have got him there to the checkered flag?
Well, when the end of the race was coming, then I was just counting how many DRSs has Manu left, and he calculated very well. So it was just then a strategy, how much DRS you have. So he calculated it very well, and I don't think a next lap or two will do any difference. Maybe only in case his tires went bad and he made a mistake, then the opportunity will open. However, Manu is a very consistent driver, so that was not an option.
All right, and looking ahead to next week, we are off to Spa-Francorchamps for the final race of the season. What are your thoughts heading into that one? I know that's going to be an exciting event for you guys.
Well, Spa usually is quite a controversial with this car, because I believe we will see a mix of high downforce and mid downforce setups. So it will be very interesting for the spectators, and quite difficult for us drivers. So I'm definitely looking forward, as it will be a really colorful race.
Absolutely, as we get set to finish off the season here with the esports eFormula series. Lubomir, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thanks to for your third place here tonight?
Indeed, thanks to Javier, my teammate, the whole Positive Sim Racing team, and our sponsors, Joel Real Timing, Advantage-Board, Modem, and Studio 3T. And last but not least, you for the commentaries and all the guys who are behind the eFormula series. Thank you very much.
All right, Lubomir Moritz in the number 66 machine coming home in third place. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time at Spa. That was Lubomir Moritz joining us in the booth. We're not going to get an interview with Manuel Domingo, unfortunately, but Frank, final thoughts on the race?
It was a great race, very entertaining, and a track being Italian. You know, this is the track very close to my heart as well. Just happy to see an open wheel series and happy to get a chance to call it here today.
Absolutely, and definitely put on a show here for the first time here on ESBN. Very well done to everybody that came out here tonight. We had 15 cars for this one. A very good field and lots of competitive racing, especially near the end there. Actually, you know what? Seeing as we've only spoken to 2 people here tonight, I'm going to bring in Danny Hoekstra. I'll let you speak to him because it's going to be a very good interview. But let's bring in Danny Herkstra, coming P4 there and just stealing away that fourth place from Cedric Bill. So, Frank, we're going to bring him up to the booth right now. I believe you have him right there.
Hey, man.
How you doing, bud?
Poor, I'm exhausted, I can tell you.
I would think so. Now you had started in P9. How did you fall so far back so early?
Well, the problem was we had a couple difficulties with setting up the second session because of the technical issues of iRacing. So instead of doing a maximum 65 minutes race, we set like a fixed amount of laps, so it should be 35 laps. But in this case, in the hurry, we forgot to give the fixed amount of laps, so it was like a full 1 hour and 5 minute race.
Okay.
And what else happened is that usually we have like 50% fuel limitation, but we also forgot to set that. So we had to explain everything to the drivers to make it fair for everyone that they all know. And with explaining everything, I just forgot to grid up. So I had to start from the pits, and I had like a 10-second drop to the last person after I started.
Yeah, that's a that's a quite eventful beginning to this race. Now you had a lot of pace in that car, and just to be able to get past Cedric Bill, to set up the move, you had made the move on the second to last lap and failed. Coming into the last corner, coming into the last lap, pardon me, it looked like you set up that move in the first chicane to make it in the second. What was your thoughts going through getting around Bill?
Well, it was like the whole part before that. I had a big gap to Zatmari, like he was right behind Cedric, and I thought, well, I need to really push it to be able to catch him, and I was luckily able to catch him, and then I overtook Zatmari, but yeah, he's my teammate, so we did it fair and square, and we gave each other a bit of room. And then I was really wondering if I would be able to catch up with Cedric, and because he is really fast, and especially in qualifying, he was like second or third or something. So I know he's really quick and he's a good racer. So I was really doubting if I wanted to go to the limit to actually overtake him, with the risk, of course, of crashing. So I just tried it, and I just wanted to see what I could do, and I know he can race fair. So oh, it was really like one of the best battles I had on iRacing, and it was fair and square. He gave me room, and we were battling for like 3 laps or something, going side by side through all the chicanes. And yeah, like you said, in the first chicane on the last lap, I was really close to him, but I didn't expect him to brake so early, because I closed up very fast on entry. But because of that, I was really close on the exit as well, and I could just like force it on the outside with a little overspeed, and yeah, that gave me the 4th position.
Well, I'm sure when you go back and watch it, you'll definitely get that excitement rush all over again. But going into Spa next week, what are your thoughts about the legendary Belgian circuit?
Well, I really love the circuit, but for me, it's a bit of a difficult track because it's very technical, and yeah, I kind of struggle in these cars to make a really good lap without getting an off track. So that would be interesting with the 20x incident limit we have on these races. So I hope it will be clean enough, but yeah, it will probably be an exciting race. Everyone's coming back from holidays right now, so probably we'll have more drivers on the grid. And yeah, let's see who will win the championship.
Yeah, without a doubt. And anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone that eventually joined the race, and we're sorry for the people that couldn't join or didn't see the session. I want to thank my dad for spotting me the whole race. He was telling me about my lap times and if it was good or not. So he was quite critical today, but I think that's a good thing that made me push. And thanks to Mark, he drove for the first time in a long time again in this race, and he did a very good job in 9th place. So yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting, of course. I did watch the intro a little bit, and it was looking good, so I'm really looking forward to see it back.
Yeah, I mean, a few teething problems, but we got through it.
I only saw one, so no problem at all to me.
That's fine.
All right. There's your 4th place finisher tonight, Danny Hexter. Congratulations, bud.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's Hoekstra with like a hook.
Hoekstra.
Fishing hook. Yeah, just makes it easier for you.
There we go.
So that was Danny Hoekstra joining us in the booth for this race. But let's go to the results for this one as we bring to a close another fantastic race for these guys. As bring up the results there as. So there we go. There we go. Bring up the results there for tonight's race, and Paul Ilbrink coming home with the win here at Monza, and Manuel Domingo coming home in 2nd place there, making it a Radicals 1-2. Positive Sim Racing's Lubomir Moric rounds out your top 3. Danny Hoekstra come home in P4. Cedric Bill, after a fantastic battle with Hoekstra, coming home in P5. P6 going to Javier Alvarez, and P7 goes to Felipe Pinheiro, Frank.
Oh, you left me with the hard day. That was cruel of you. Seth Parry coming home in 8th. Marcellus Brodin coming home in 9th. Adish DeBreezen coming home in 10th. David Guild 11th. Teammate of the year Kevin Shine coming home in 12th position. Bruno Canavis coming home in 13th. 14th. Reinaldo Augusta and Samuel Augsburger coming home in the 15th and final position tonight.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for us here tonight on ESBN with the eFormula series. Fantastic to have them with the channel, and a big thank you to Danny and Bert Hoekstra for bringing us on board. Very exciting race, and we're very happy to have them on board. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight when we have NASCAR Online with the 2nd race of their round of 16 when they go to Richmond. But for now, all that's left for me to say from myself, Sam Convenit, and from my broadcast partner, Frank Marchese, keep it clean, keep it green, and we will catch you next week live from Spa-Francorchamps for the eFormula series. Have a good, evening.